भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So let us see sloka number 17, chapter 3, Karma Yoga. Yas tvatma ratireva syad
यस्त्वात् मरतिर् एव स्यात्
atma truptascha manavaha
आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः
atmanyeva cha santushtas
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः
tasya karyam na vidyate.
तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते.
Yastvatma ratireva syad
यस्त्वात् मरतिर् एव स्यात्
आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः
आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः
तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते.
तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते.
Please chant. Anybody wants to chant?
यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन् एव च सन्तुष्टस्तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते.
Anyone else want to try? Okay, so the translation and purport. But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. Purport. A person who is fully Krishna conscious and fully satisfied by his acts in Krishna consciousness no longer has any duty to perform. Due to his being Krishna conscious, all impiety within is instantly cleansed, an effect of many, many thousands of yajna performance. By such clearing of consciousness, one becomes fully confident of his eternal position in relationship with the Supreme. His duty thus becomes self-illuminated by the grace of Lord, and therefore he has no longer has any obligations to Vedic injunction. Such a Krishna conscious person is no longer interested in material activities and no longer takes pleasure in material engagements like wine, woman, and similar infatuations. So here Krishna continuing his instructions to Arjuna about what is the best course of action for him. And he's telling him that Karma Yoga is best for him rather than intelligence or Jnana Yoga. Because that is his dharma also. As a Kshatriya, he should act. He should not focus on renouncing the dharma and focusing on Jnana. So, Krishna told Arjuna already that in the last slokas that you do karma yoga, even if you have desires, act in karma yoga, connect with the Supreme by yajna and do your activities. If cannot work in that consciousness of connection, at least do karma kanda, like act for as per your dharma and get whatever the results you get. The last sloka was that the person who don't follow the principles of Vedas about sacrifice said by Vedas, they live life of sins, full of sins, and they live in vain. That was the last sloka. So that was that level of consciousness is much below karma kanda. It's like vikarma, not doing your activity that you are supposed to do. Right? So now Krishna is telling uh, person, like, because last loka he's told, like, if you don't act, if you don't do your duty, then you live full of sins, and you don't sacrifice, you do. So who is the person who does the sacrifice, and who is who is not required to do any duty? And here duty means karyam na vidyate, tasya karyam na vidyate. In the here the karyam means not the dharma, but the activity by which we satisfy our own desires. Okay, so that's the meaning that Srila Prabhupada writes. It's a material activity. So, and the activity which is only for our sense gratification. Okay, so here, if the three lines, say part A, B, and C, we see the word, repeated word, Atma. So first is Atma Ratir. Rati means interest, or rasa. So Atma Rati, who has pleasure within, who is acts within. Atma Truptas, who is satisfied. Trupta means satisfied. And Atma Santushta is also satisfied, like in himself. And Atma Trupta is also like, there are two meanings. One meaning is satisfied, one meaning is enlightened. You can say enlightened inside by the Atma. So here, a yogi, a person who is focused within, or who is focused within the Atma, within the body, and on the Atma, that person's uh, explanation is given. So, uh, when we say, so he does not depend on the external activities. So he's satisfied, he's happy, he's illuminated by his consciousness, which is focused completely within, which is focused inside. So for such a person, generally we do the external activities. So this is the internal, but the external activities, why we do the internal activities? We do the external sorry, why we do the external activities? We do for our sustenance, for getting happiness or pleasure or satisfaction. For that, we do the external activities, including the material, general activities, duties, and also the spiritual activities. We try to get some satisfaction from them. So we do job, we get money, we have family, we maintain them, we spend time with them, and we get satisfaction, and we get happiness. We feel enlightened by their company and association. So the external things affect our internal consciousness also. If the circumstances are not good, we also don't feel good. Because why this happens? Because we are more dependent on the external atmosphere around us than our internal state. But the here person is defined that who is internally satisfied. So he's internally in a situation where he does not depend on the external activities. Tasya karyam na vidyate. So for such a person who is internally satisfied, there is no external karya or karma or duty is required. And here the duty means the material activity, for which, for from which activity he will try to get satisfaction, or he will try to get happiness from this activity. That is not required. So he will do his activity. So in the next slokas, Krishna will tell, like, such a person, so he should not renounce. Even if there is no duty, he should not renounce. So he's not advising Arjuna to renounce. He's saying, okay, but in next few slokas he will advise Arjuna to you act, even if you are self-satisfied, self situated, still you act. Why you have to act? That Krishna will explain in the next few verses to Arjuna. So uh, so the main point Krishna is explaining is, even if you are internally satisfied and happy, you should not give up your dharma or your act, activity or your duty. So Arjuna is required to fight. So, and here Srila Prabhupada uses the word by such clearing of consciousness. So when all the internal satisfaction or happiness focus depends on our consciousness, how we look at the external world, uh, and how we relate with it, and how we focus on our real goal of life, and how we relate with the relationship with the goal. So our goal is Supreme Lord Vishnu or Krishna. So we have to find out his relationship with him, and that is all our internal thing. The external things are helpful, of course, like in devotional or spiritual practice also we need people who are like-minded, who are spiritually oriented. We have to associate with them, we have need to have friendship with them, because that helps us. We need to have the activities which focus around the spiritual enlightenment, like going to temple, walking towards the temple, taking darshan of the deity, doing kirtan in the temple, or doing book distribution or reading Bhagavad Gita. All these activities are supporting our internal consciousness. So we need these external activities also for spiritual practice. So, but the aim of such practice is totally different. It's not for our enjoyment, it's for helping us to understand our real position in relation with the Supreme. So, these external activities are useful. Even if such a spiritual practitioner or sadhaka does his duties, like say for example doing his job or taking care of family, he's not doing trying to enjoy it for himself. He's doing that for the uh, purification. So applying everything for the service of the Lord. That's the purification of mind and body. So he takes care, he does the job, everything for his purification. That all these external activities are meant to support me so that I can focus on my internal consciousness. So that's how this sadhaka focuses more internally, and that's why this word Atma Santushta, Atma Ratir, Atma Triptas is coming three times. So we should not misunderstand tasya karyam na vidyate, that we don't have to work. No, Krishna is not saying, because Arjuna, after saying Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was fighting in the war. So he never said karyam na vidyate means don't work. No, his karya is different. He is not working for his material um, activities or material interests. That's the his interest in such things is completely overcome by his internal self satisfaction. That's the meaning of this. Some people take this as, okay, if I am practicing sadhaka, then I don't have to work, I don't to do any activity. Then they become re- liability on the society. And that's not what Krishna is advertising here. Krishna is advertising much higher purpose. You do your activity, and at the same time you internally focus on your goal and take the help of all the external activities, including spiritual and material, to help in the internal enlightenment of your consciousness. So now, in next few verses, Krishna will tell. So if I am fully satisfied, if I don't want any happiness, I don't have any misery by external activity, then why I should act? Why Arjuna should fight? So these answers Krishna will give in the next few verses, which are applicable to us also. So that we will see from tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any questions, any comments, any reflections? Okay, so Gita Jayanti is coming on this Friday. It's the day on which the Gita was spoken by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. So we are reading it Bhagavad Gita every day for 15 to 20 minutes and one few months. So I think it's a good opportunity to help others also to learn Bhagavad Gita or read Bhagavad Gita or give them Bhagavad Gita so that they also get this very deep spiritual knowledge which is necessary and which can be applicable for our regular life also. So please try to give Bhagavad Gita to your friends or read with them. You can also bring them to this our discussions. So just try to find new ways how we can help everyone of the society to have proper and clear understanding of the spirituality. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama.